Welcome back.
To Marriage Beyond the Veil. So there was a song called Nobody Knows by Tony Rich.
Okay.
And I ran across it a couple days ago.
Okay.
And I really didn't know the words that well, but I
Okay.
went back and sort of read the lyrics.
Hmm.
And basically, he's talking about not telling the person that he was with how he really felt. And
Okay.
so they left.
Hmm.
And so now they're dying inside. And he talks about screaming, if I thought you would hear me, and I'm going looking for you, and all this kind of stuff. But he basically keeps saying the same thing. I didn't tell you how I felt.
Hmm. And
And
nobody knows
nobody knows but
but me.
me.
Okay.
Exactly. And he says, I'm dying inside. And nobody knows it but me, because he's still having to sort of keep up this face. But here's the thing, in a relationship, in a love relationship, you always have to make sure that you're expressing how you feel about someone, because if you don't, and I've seen this happen more times than not, a person will say, I'm not appreciated, I'm not
Hmm.
loved, I'm not respected, I'm not cared for, I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm out.
Well, if it gets back to the communication piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't communicate, then people will basically take off on tangents
Mm-hmm.
based on what they think or what they feel or what
Mm-hmm.
they believe, which many times have nothing to do with the truth. And that can cause even greater situations because now you've got some narrative in your mind
Right.
that doesn't line up with reality, but you've had no choice but to kind of create the missing pieces
Mm-hmm.
because they've not been provided.
True.
And that's often what times what people will do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if I don't know the story, of course there is a story,
Right. I want to
so I have to
know.
fill in the blanks,
Mm-hmm.
and based on the strength or the lack thereof
Mm-hmm.
of your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
of your intimacy, all of that, people oftentimes will go down paths and take roads that have absolutely positively nothing to do with the reality. But if you've not communicated, there you have it.
Yeah, and I find this happens a lot in love relationships where people aren't showing up 100%. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you
Okay.
mean.
So, I think when people are coming into a love relationship and there's something not quite right.
Okay.
So, they're sort of holding back instead of, like you said, communicating
Right.
what the issue may really be.
And, in situations like that, more than likely, it will always get back to a past hurt, a
Mm-hmm.
past issue, a
Mm,
past concern that
yeah.
wasn't addressed. So one becomes kind of guarded,
Yes. Very
and,
good.
and they don't let the guard down.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a love relationship, I mean, this is a situation where the person that you're sharing the journey with needs to be able to know everything that they need to know. you
Okay.
know, so I mean, if you've had again some experiences that have altered how you're able to connect or lack thereof, how you're able to express joy,
Mm-hmm.
happiness, or the lack thereof.
Right.
You know, all of those things. I mean, those are things that the person that's sharing the journey with you need to be privy to, because if you have a situation where you've been wounded and that wound has not been
Heal.
healed,
Yeah.
then when they know about it, they know how to better guard
There it is.
and
Mm-hmm.
help you
Yep.
in the healing process.
Yes. Nobody knows it but me. That'll be a downfall of any relationship.
Yeah. What's Chris say? I don't trust anybody, but nobody knows it but me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever it is, fill in the blank.
Right.
If nobody knows, then it's obvious that because you're not confessing it, you're not addressing it.
And I'm glad you said that, because remember, I had trust issues,
Oh,
but you knew because
yeah,
I told you. And so
eventually.
told you early on that.
Sure you
So,
did.
listen, I did tell you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Okay.
did. Yeah, you did.
I was about to get upset. Yeah, I did tell you. So yeah, if it's a situation where nobody knows it,
Right. And something that I said that if you don't confess it, it means that you can't address it.
love it.
I like that.
Okay, I had to write that down. So
Until tomorrow,
all right.
if the Lord says the same.
Have a good evening.